Well, let's move to the story that's hot tonight. The board of Satyam has set the ball rolling. The process of selling a stake to a strategic investor has begun, as we told you right here on CNBC TV 18. Interested parties who have 1,500 crore rupees cash will have to register by the 12th of March to participate in the bidding process. Harsha.
On What's Hot Tonight, we ask when will Satyam find a buyer. But first, CNBC TV 18 also exclusively learns that some stringent exit clauses may be imposed on the buyer. Vivek Law now joins me with some exclusive details on that one. Vivek, tell us.
That's right, Harsha. What we are picking up from our sources in Satyam is that there is going to be a fairly stringent set of exit clauses which are there. Let me quickly run you through two major ones. One, of course, is the physical assets. Now, what we have learned is Satyam has done a valuation of its physical assets, which are land and property, and that itself is 1,800 crore rupees. Just to put it into perspective, the current market capitalization of Satyam stands at just a little over 3,000 crores. So that's a fairly significant amount. Now, to be able to sell this, the eventual acquirer will have to go to the CLB, will certainly need shareholder approval. There are going to be these clauses put into the final agreement, which is going to be ready in the next couple of days. Another thing is on the employee front. We understand that 100 key employees will not be able to be thrown out or sacked unless there is some very, very important, convincing argument in favor of doing them. The rest of the employees, of course, the acquirer will have the freedom to do what the acquirer wants to do with them. Now, just to quickly add on a couple of more important points which are important to the bidders at this point of time. One is the restatement of accounts, which was supposed to have been done by March 31st, we understand is still not likely to be done by that date. The reason being the auditors are finding it extremely difficult to go back many, many years. There are certain bills which have been, the invoices are wrong, they have been inflated, and therefore the March 31st deadline seems unlikely to be met. There are more than 80 officials of KPMG and Deloitte who are there at the Satyam headquarters trying to do that. So the bidders are unlikely to get a very clear sense of the numbers other than what are going to be put out in this RFP. And the last point is that a retired Supreme Court judge, as was the decision of the CLB, is likely to be appointed in the next couple of days. We understand some very, very senior Supreme Court judges retired have already been approached, and the bidding process, more importantly, is going to happen out of Mumbai and not Hyderabad.
Okay, let's put those questions now to the Chief Financial Officer of the Hinduja Group, Mr. Prebble Banerjee, joins us once again. Mr. Banerjee, many thanks for joining us on Friday when we were speaking to you. You were still undecided. March 12th, so it's 3 days away. That's when you have to actually register on the Satyam website if you're an interested party. What is the decision at this point in time?
As far as we are concerned, I think we are reviewing the entire set of papers that has been there on the website, and we have not yet taken a call as to what we will do because we are assessing the entire scenario, and I think it will take us a couple of days before we actually decide whether we are going to participate in the process or not.
Okay, you don't have a couple of days, Mr. Banerjee. You don't have a couple of days, but let me put to you the information that Vivek has just gotten access to from sources. These are some things like, you know, the exit clause as far as key employees and physical assets. You've heard Vivek and what he's just had to say, as well as the no claims clause that has been put in as far as the bidding guidelines are concerned. On both these issues, sir, how concerned are you, and does that make you even more apprehensive as a potential bidder?
As far as the employees are concerned, it doesn't make us very apprehensive. But no claims, we need to assess what is the consequence of that. So we need to have legal views on that. As far as a couple of days is concerned, if you look at the total process, till 12th of March, we have the time to register of our interest, which I think is a very simple affair. If you look at the form, it's a 5 or 6 slots that needs to be filled in. And then by 20th of March, we'll have to fill in the detailed expression of interest, the format of which is not yet available to us. We will be looking at that, and the least issue is the 1,500 crores cash availability. I think none of the bidders will be very much bothered about that because that's not a very big sum. Obviously, they have not asked for the full 3,000 or 3,500 crores or 4,000 crores. Depending on the bid, it can go up to that level for the entire 51%. Question that comes is that no claims scenario. You know, coupled with the fact that there is a very specific statement saying that there will be certain business, financial and legal due diligence information that is available, at least we are not very sure what it would encompass. And obviously, as you can see, that the people who are today with Satyam will be very likely interested to hand over the company on as-is basis, and it is obvious that the no claims sticker has to be there because they cannot be claiming any money from the erstwhile management or owners of the company. So I would say that no claims was very natural, but as far as we are concerned, we would have been very happy if at this stage we would have given much more time to look at what are those due diligence information available that will be with us, which we can refer to, number one. And if you ask me, my personal frank opinion is that I do not see why there is such a hurry to sell the Satyam on as-is basis. Possibly, even if it is not 31st March, as was told by your colleague Vivek, even if it takes up to say 30th April or 31st May, in my opinion, it would have been better for Satyam as a company as well as the minority shareholders if we would have gone ahead, have the restatement of accounts completed, have the crystallization of liabilities as much as possible completed, and then go for the bidding. And I think Satyam would have got a much better valuation compared to what it could be done today.
Well, Mr. Banerjee, that's precisely going to be my question. On what basis are you going to approach this bidding game, if you bid, that is? There is no clear picture as far as the assets and liabilities are concerned at this point in time. And only if you reach the shortlist process are you even going to have privy to some information about the company in terms of diligence. So on what basis will you even put a figure on what you want to bid?
In fact, that was the apprehension of our group from the day go. I will tell you why. As a group, we have institutionalized certain policies. The two major policy of that is, number one, return on capital employed, and number two, free cash flow generation from the operations of any organization. Question is that in absence of the contour of the financials of Satyam as of today, as it was for the last 8 years, and some assessment of the customer due diligence, which is mandatory in these circumstances because of various paper reports that is available, I think it will be very important for us to receive those restated financial numbers, look at what is that we are going to invest, which in my calculation will be anywhere in between 3,000 to 3,500 crore, if not more.
Right.
And then if I am to invest 3,000 or 3,500 crore into Satyam, I need to see what is the return that I am going to get from that investment in the next, say, 5, 7 or even 9-year period of time.